Hello, and welcome to the Personalities of the Tarot podcast. I'm Elizabeth Seer, author of Personalities of the Tarot, a guide to know thyself through astrology and tarot. It's my take on the energy available to us all at any given time within the universe, based on the correlations of tarot cards with astrology. You don't have to be into astrology or tarot to get something out of this podcast. Maybe you're just relaxing to the soothing, dulcet tones of my voice as you fall asleep, which is known to happen a lot. Seriously, I have a cool list of famous birthdays and interesting information this week. This could be called the Joe Biden week, and the only reason is because we're in the time of his birthday, November 20th. Therefore, he embodies the two areas of discussion, the Seven of Cups from November 12th to the 22nd and the end of Scorpio, and the King of Wands from November 12th to December 11th for the court card and personality of those born during that time. You might be interested to learn more about presidential personalities. I posted a special Personalities of the Presidents episode just last week, giving a breakdown of the recent presidential contenders' court cards. As far as Personalities of the Tarot, the book, I'm working on a revised and expanded second edition of that birthday-style book, so it's currently unavailable. But if you're interested in learning to read tarot for your own self-improvement and empowerment, my book, Ex Libris Tarot, the revised and expanded second edition, is now available on Amazon for only $11.99 plus tax and shipping. I hope to have Personalities of the Tarot available sometime around the new year. Okay, I know I'm a few days late posting. I honestly had a very rough week emotionally, existentially. Luckily, it doesn't happen often, and I'm doing everything I can to lift my spirits and get my head straight because connecting with spirit is hard work and requires focus. But yay, Mercury is now back in forward motion, out of that pesky retrograde. And on Friday, November 13th, Mars began its forward motion again. It's further from us than Mercury, so it'll take a couple of weeks before we feel that forward-moving Mars energy. Until then, just try to stay cool. I did not stay cool this week, and so I'm making a public apology to the person I flipped off and called an a-hole as I tried to squeeze into my garage. It was completely out of character with how I handle myself these days. And even more embarrassing, my middle daughter was with me. You could tell she was really uncomfortable, and that was on me. And of course, the decision of the first driver as well. So this is my public apology. I don't know who she is or how or why she was in the alley behind my house, but I'm sorry to the driver of the big black truck who almost hit me. I needn't have escalated a situation that I ultimately came through unscathed. I was having a really bad day. She didn't know that, and for all I know, she could have been having a bad day. Maybe we just need to remember that other people have bad days too. I just can't seem to get comfortable with them, with my own bad days, I mean. I'm thinking of erecting a big "I'm sorry" sign in my alley just in case she comes back. All right, we're talking about the end of Scorpio, November 12th to the 22nd. The last decan, or the last 10 degrees of the sign of the Scorpion, is ruled by the Seven of Cups in the Minor Arcana. I call this card the emotional procrastination card. We're in the Suit of Cups, so that's all relationships, love, emotions, inspiration. Sevens are a time of harvest and making decisions for a final push into the next season. In a Waite Smith style deck, the Seven of Cups shows a man turning away from his everyday life and allowing himself to be enthralled and even overwhelmed by 7 cups, each filled with something exotic, exciting, and different. He knows he has things to attend to, but those things may not be so pleasant or exciting. He reminds us to deal with life before things get out of control, though. Those born during this time, November 12th to the 22nd, likely have a pretty vivid imagination and the ability to share that vision with others through some form of creative work. But they also embody an indecisiveness, when their creativity is stunted. It's not so much an inability to commit, but an inability to commit to a solitary path. They like the path you're offering, but they like a few other paths too. By that same token, they don't necessarily extend that same generous belief with their partner. They can be remarkably my way or the highway types. Now, if you're born in this last 10 days of Scorpio, like President-elect Joe Biden, you can work with this energy, and working against it brings illusions, lost in fantasy and temptation. But if the powers of these last 10 days of Scorpio are used for good, then you know that if you can dream it, you can do it. You also need to be realistic and work within the physical realm of the here and now. For those of all signs, in this last week and a half of Scorpio, which is still also ruled by death throughout the sign, you may feel indecisive and overwhelmed in love and/or creativity. You may be feeling uninspired or just on a journey to become more inspired. You could be feeding your dreams and desires when other things really need attention now. If you avoid something long enough, you'll eventually lose it from your life. But here again, the flip side of all this is awesome energy and fantasizing and dreaming, because they're very important parts of manifesting and creating the world that you would see it within your sphere of influence. Nurture your dreams, but remember, you are right here, right now. Keep an eye on those dreams as you deal with living today, and then tomorrow. It's famous birthday time! Here's my very disordered list of those third decan-born Scorpios with birthdays November 12th to the 22nd. Ryan Gosling, Gerard Butler, Steve Zahn, Whoopi Goldberg, Shailene Woodley, Maggie Gyllenhaal, RuPaul, Danny DeVito, Chloe Sevigny, Nasim Pedrad, Adam Driver, Indira Gandhi, Robert F. Kennedy, Bjork, and Goldie Hawn. The reign of the Knight of Cups has ended. We're now in the time of the King of Wands from November 12th through December 11th. Wands work with the element of fire, but those Scorpios born in the last 10 degrees of the sign have a fiery arsenal mixed with their watery emotions. The more positive characteristics of those born under this King of Wands are that they're creative, charismatic, bold, strong, active, generous, and committed. If they manifest the shadow side of the King of Wands, they could be cruel, bigoted, brutal, hasty, fierce, and intolerant. This king is usually secure in his or her or their profession, and he has both an inner and an outer strength to accomplish his goals. Strong and generous, although impulsive, those born November 12th to December 11th are usually committed to having a family. He's a good guy to have on your side if you're going into battle, but you definitely don't want to fight against him. He can be the fiercest of enemies if he believes you have ill intentions toward him, or especially his loved ones. For all of us wandering through this period of the King of Wands from November 12th to December 11th, it's a time to direct our energy with intention. The suit of Wands is what I call the manifestation suit, and the King is a great manifester through vision and action. So you must make sure your actions are in line with your desires. You may have an opportunity to manifest by taking bold or creative action now. Show your commitment and authority for your endeavors. You can win. It's time for more famous birthdays. This time for those born under the King of Wands, November 12th to December 11th. That's the last 10 days or so of Scorpio through the first 20 days of Sagittarius. And as always, it's in no order. Joe Biden, Charles, Prince of Wales, Travis Barker, Jamie Lee Curtis, Scarlett Johansson, Allison Janney, Miley Cyrus, Mark Ruffalo, DJ Khaled, and one of my favorite people ever, Jon Stewart, Anna Faris, Chrissy Teigen, Ben Stiller, Sarah Silverman, Zoe Kravitz, Britney Spears, Lucy Liu, Amanda Seyfried, Tiffany Haddish, Jay-Z, Marissa Tomei, Dame Judi Dench, Raven Simone, Nikki Sixx, John Malkovich, Margaret Cho, Frankie Muniz, sorry about that, Ozzy Osbourne, Joe Latrulio, Bette Midler, Colin Hanks, Richard Pryor, Mark Twain, Winston Churchill, and Jimi Hendrix. In closing, I am still in the process of figuring out and creating my Patreon account and hope to have it live by the end of November. If you don't know, Patreon is a platform which allows people to offer regular monthly support for people like me who offer creative and inspirational work. There will be options for $3 a month all the way up to $99. I'm thinking of offering things like weekly astrology readings where I read the cards every week for each of the 12 signs. I'll offer other goodies too, including one-on-one readings and even daily cards for individuals, plus annual readings. You'll be able to find me on patreon.com/Elizabeth Seer. In the meantime, if you like this podcast and wish to support my work, feel free to head over to my website, elizabethseer.com, and book your appointment for a live reading, or purchase a recorded reading through my shop. I've slashed the price of my live readings to $75 through the end of the year. It's also that time of year for gift giving, so if you're looking for a creative holiday gift, you can purchase an annual reading, a recorded reading, or even a copy of my book for those in your life who may be interested. I'm going to drop a couple of good deals during the Black Friday weekend as well. Visit elizabethseer.com for more. So our message for the next 10 days or so is to deal with issues as they come, taking them off the back burner, freeing up space in your life. Get creative and active with your vision because things don't usually happen with our butts plastered to the couch and our mind on the television autopilot. If you can dream it, you can do it. You've been listening to Elizabeth Seer, and as always, I'm grateful for this time with you.